Hi guys, welcome back to our course on NumPy. In our previous lecture, we covered the RANDINT method, and today we are going to learn about the RANDINT method of the random module of NumPy. So let's get started. So let me just write Python 3 and hit enter. Now I'm going to import NumPy. So I'm going to import NumPy as np, hit enter. So today we are gonna discuss about the RANDINT method. So RANDINT stands for random integer, and it is an inbuilt function offered by the random module of NumPy. So it's an inbuilt function like rand and randn, and it's also a function of the random module of NumPy. So you know that the random module gives access to various useful functions. So the module random gives access to various useful functions, and one of them is RANDINT, which is able to generate random integer numbers. So the rand and randn functions generated float values, but this function generates random numbers and they are of type int. Now let's move on to the syntax. So the syntax is you have to write np or numpy dot random dot randint, and you have to pass the start, the stop value. So you have to give a range within which you want to get a random integer. So this is the syntax. And also note that both the start and stop values must be integers. So the start stop values indicating the range must be integer values, otherwise you will get an error while executing the statements. So now let's just write x is equal to np dot random dot randint. So dot randint, and pass the start as well as the stop value. And now I'm going to print the value of this randomly generated integer. So it's 8 in this case. You may get a different value because we are working with random numbers. Now let's move on to some more examples. So next example is generate a random number between -10 and -1, and it should be of the type integer. So I'm gonna write x is equal to np.random.randint, and I'm going to pass the start as -10 and the stop as -1. Now I'm going to print the value of x, and it comes out to be -3. So I have generated a random number of type integer between -10 and -1. Now let's see what happens when we pass non-integer values. So x equal to np.random.randint, and I'm going to pass non-integer values. Let's see what happens. Ideally, it should give us an error. So I'm going to pass the float values, and I'm going to print the value of x now. So I'm going to write print x and hit enter. Now you guys must be wondering that we got a result, but we should get an error. So this is because there might be an update I guess now we can use compatible data types as start and stop values. Now let's try using non-compatible data types like string or character values. So I'm going to pass character values this time or string values. So it gave me an error. So invalid literal for int with base 10. So this is a non-compatible data type. So note that we got an error with non-compatible data type. And in the previous versions, if you try float values also, you will get an error because now there might be an update, but in previous version, it gave us an error. Now there's an assignment for you. Generate a random number between -5 and let it be 4 and 4 using RANDINT method. So in today's lecture, we covered the RANDINT or the random integer method of random module of NumPy. That will be all for today. This video is brought to you by Programming Knowledge. Please like, comment, share, subscribe and hit the bell button for updates and stay tuned with us for next lecture. Thank you.